Alright, y'all. I'm here. I'm back with another video. So I want to put this on the forefront before I go any further. I love Zachary Campbell, okay? I have been following him since... Me and him are the exact same age. So I literally have been following him since I've graduated high school. So since 2012, which is when I graduated. I'll say I really got into him 2013, 14. I've barely probably ever missed a video that he's ever made. And this video was not for me to come on here and go off on him and say, oh, you this, that. This ain't none of that. This is me simply giving my reply. That's why it's going to be called a reply to some of the stuff that he said in his video in regards to Megan. Now, I will say this. I do agree with some of the stuff that he did say about Megan. Let's talk about one of the main things that I did want to talk about, which this is why I'm glad he did this video, because I've been wanting to come on here and talk about this. I just didn't really know how to tackle it. But one of the main things he talked about at the end of his video was how he's not connecting with Meg's music. And I didn't want to be the person to come on here and say that I did not like her album, but I guess we're here. I don't want to say I hated Good News, but I did. But for it to be her debut album, it did not hit for me. I feel like Fever hit way better. I feel like Sugar, even though that was EP, the songs on there were better. I feel like with Meg getting to the stature that she is now, I just feel like a lot of it. People say this all the time, but it's a fact. Like when it comes to music and people, when they get bigger, it's a little bit too clean. It's a little bit too clean. It's a little bit too polished. I agree with Zachary when he says some of like the authentic vibe, authenticity of it all. Something is missing, and I don't really know what it is, but I really haven't been feeling a lot of her singles. Girls in the Hood to me was, Don't Stop. Body, man, you know, it's whatever. It's a TikTok song, but it's not a song that I care for. And on her album, I can honestly say there's not that many songs in there that I'm really gonna go back and listen to. Her album came out not that long ago. I really haven't gone back to listen to it. So I do agree with him when he says that I don't know exactly what it is that's creating that disconnect. I don't know, like I said, if everything is just a little bit too polished and Rock Nation is doing a little bit too much and I need them to pull back just a tad bit. I don't know if that's what it is, but I do agree with him wholeheartedly on the music aspect of things. Now, on the personal aspect of things, now he was talking about pretty much, now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I heard about Asian Doll and the City Girls going back and forth and Meg having something to do with it, but I'm going to be real about why I didn't pay attention to this story. Number one, I know nothing about Asian Doll other than the fact that she used to go out with King Von, and then I found out that when he got killed, they weren't even together. Like, they were together in the past, but when he was killed, they weren't actually in a relationship. Not that that takes away from her pain, but I'm just saying it gives me a little bit more context to why people are going in on her the way they are. So that's that. So pretty much ever since he's passed away, all I ever hear is her name and her being brought up in something that has to do with him, or her saying something about him, and I just don't care to hear it anymore. That's number one. And number two, the City Girls was always getting into it with somebody. That's what they do. They pop off. That's what Carisha and that's what JT do. So I really didn't give a fuck, too much of a fuck about what happened. So I listened to Zach's video and he explained to me he explained the entire situation about what happened between everything, and his whole thing was that he felt like pretty much that Meg should have jumped into that situation and defended Asian Doll, because he thought that they were friends and that they were cool. And he said the reason he thought that they were friends is because, you know, they had supported each other. You know, she posted her, she'll post her, say congratulations and all this other stuff. But I want to touch on something that he said that, and I don't mean him, because clearly he's way more into this industry, so he knows better than I, more than anything, because he even said it himself. I think people really get confused when it comes to, especially when it comes to music artists, about people being friends. There is a huge difference between being friends with somebody and then being colleagues with somebody. So I can have, or quote unquote, a co-worker, okay? So yes, I can work with somebody, okay? And we could sit next to each other. This is the perfect way to put it. how many of y'all have had jobs where y'all been cool as fuck with one or two people at y'all job? Y'all cool as fuck. Every time y'all work together, it's a good time. When y'all see each other, it's a good time at work. Y'all help each other get past y'all day. But let's say once you quit that job or that other person quit that job, have you ever talked to that person again? No, because y'all wasn't really friends. Y'all were work friends. Y'all not friends. So one of the things that I just wanted to touch on that he kind of talked about a little bit is just the fact that I think people really need to reevaluate and really understand what friends mean, especially when it comes in this music industry. And one of the main problems that everybody has said about Meg is that Meg thinks that Meg is cool with everybody. Even Jack has said that Meg is cool with everybody, and that is an issue. I think that specifically with this past year, Meg has learned that everybody is not your friend. Everybody is not your friend. Okay, even if you want to work with them and do songs with them, that does not mean that they're your friend. We can be cool, calm, and collected. I can have no issue with you, but that does not mean that you are my friend. You are not my friend. You are a co-worker. So yes, I agree with, so Asian Doll, because Zach was pretty much saying, I mean, but with Asian Doll being so talented and stuff, wouldn't you think that she would give her a bone? No, not necessarily. Because like you even said yourself, Zach, dollars, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Asian Doll is nobody that anybody is really checking for on a Meg song versus the City Girls. If I see Megan, and I'm personally going to go to see Megan and the City Girls on a song before I see Meg and Asian Doll, because I don't even really know who she is. So yes, as far as dollars, it does make way more sense. And I do think that he is putting a little bit more on their friendship than probably actually there really is. I think that like I said, y'all get it confused. Just because y'all see somebody put up a post here, oh, hey, this person is dope, or hey, that person is dope, that doesn't mean that they're really cool. That doesn't mean that they're friends. That doesn't mean that somebody's about to go out of their way to do anything for them. This is an industry at the end of the day, okay? Then he talked about Nicki, and I've been wanting to talk about this too for a minute, because I've heard people say here and there, about her and Nicki not getting along. This is another thing too. I want to make it clear. It's another case of possibly confusing the fact that people could be friends when really I could just admire you and I could just think that you're awesome and you're dope and I appreciate you, and that's where it ends. Yes, Meg was extremely excited when she got Nicki for Hot Girl Summer. Who the hell wouldn't be? She's a female rapper, and she got the biggest female rapper to be, to do a song with her. There's nothing wrong with that. Super hype. They did the live together. The only reason they did the live together is because they were shooting the video together, hyping each other up, this, that, and the third. And so for a while, nobody has really seen Nicki or Meg kind of interact. But here's the thing. I think people are not taking a couple things into consideration. Number one, okay? Nicki had enough shit. Like, first of all, Meg and Nicki separately have had enough bullshit going on. So let's just take Nicki for a second. Amongst all of that Hot Girl Summer shit, we have to understand what Nicki was dealing with. First of all, Nicki was coming off of the heels of the Queen era, which we all know was just disastrous in the sense that there's just a lot going on, okay? Then she ended up getting with her husband, the guy, Kenneth Petty, who is now her husband. She also ended up pregnant, okay, and dipped off of social media for damn near a year. Even before she got pregnant, she was off of social media for almost a year. And then finally, I don't care what nobody say, but Megan Thee Stallion did WAP with Cardi. There is nothing there that Nicki is going to support. It don't matter how much she fucks with Meg. It does not matter. She don't fuck with Cardi. We all know that. So I did. First of all, I would be surprised if Nicki is even somewhat cool with Meg after she did that song with Cardi, because we all know how Nicki is. Her last name is Petty. She's very petty, and she really does not like Cardi. So I can see Nicki feeling some type of way. I know Zach said that, I highly doubt she did. No. I can absolutely see Nicki feeling some type of way about Meg doing that song with Cardi. And pause, not only did she do WAP with Cardi, but that song, I would have to go and check, but I'm pretty sure WAP was a bigger song and had longer lasting impact than Hot Girl Summer. I could be wrong. I have to go check the numbers, but it just seems like off, first rip, it seems like WAP was like, it was a bigger moment, I'll say. Like the moment, the impact, the video, all of that. Not saying it was a better song. I'm not saying it was a better song. I'm saying the moment as a whole was a little bit bigger than when her and Megan hooked up. Also, I want to say about the whole thing with Nicki and Meg. They both use each other in that situation. The reason I never really looked at it like, oh, they're really friends, no, they're really tight. I never looked at it like that, because I always looked at it like this is business at the end of the day. Y'all people really have to understand that this is a business at the end of the day. There is no friends in this business at all. That was a business decision between Nicki and Megan. Megan was newer, okay, and you know she already had her little buzz, but Nicki getting on that track pretty much helped solidify her. And Nicki at the time was struggling with getting a hit. That is a fact. She was struggling with getting a hit. So pairing up with Meg, the new hot young bitch, which she didn't do with Cardi, because that's the thing. One thing Nicki is, she's smart. She's smart. She's seen how she fucked up with Cardi in a sense of not tag teaming with the new hot bitch and seeing how that back folded on her. So when Meg came around, she said, no. I'm going to do this one different. Let me actually be cool with this girl and let me get on the track with her so we can do it the right way. But I never, ever looked at that situation and said, oh, Nicki and Meg, oh, they're best friends. Like they're so cool and they love one another. I don't take none of that unless I see these hoes together all the time. I'm talking about all the time on somebody's live, or I constantly see them. Like literally, I have to physically see them together a lot for me to be like, oh yeah, that's her friend. Oh yeah, that's her friend. Oh yeah, that's her friend. Outside of doing the hot girl summer thing, when have we ever really seen Nicki and Meg together? We haven't. Before, they only really communicated when it was time for that whole press run. Prior to that, all you really knew was Meg would hype Nicki up because she was a new girl coming in. And of course, she won't give your flowers to the fucking queen. But the point of the matter is, outside of that whole little bubble, when Hot Girl Summer was out, we have not seen them interact with each other. And I don't think it has anything to do with, oh, well, again, like I said, I do think part of it has to do with, you know, her doing a song with Cardi, but I really think it's more so it was a business thing. What do me and this little girl? Let's be real. Yes, Nicki and Meg, they are both female rappers, right? Get it, and they can talk about a lot. But in all reality, what you gotta understand is, to a degree, Megan is still, to a degree, not to the fullest, Nicki's competition, and not in please don't, I'm not trying to say that Meg could ever knock over Nicki. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying she has to actively, once Nicki gets back into the game, she's going to have to actively compete with the other girls now. It's not just her anymore. So again, I don't even think that they were really close buddy friends. So I wanted to touch on that too, because he pretty much was like, you know, he was pretty much saying like, oh well, I don't know what's going on with Meg and Nicki because Nicki didn't post, you know, Meg's album, and I really didn't understand that. But like, let's be real. Like, if we're gonna be real about the whole situation, Nicki really doesn't hype any other. And I didn't say she never does. I said she rarely does. She rarely hypes up other female rappers. She rarely does. I didn't say she does not. Let's get this right, Barbs. I didn't say she does not. I said she rarely does. And it's not even just about female rappers. Nicki, she does it, but she doesn't really do it a whole lot. She barely has really been posting over the past year and a half. She really hasn't even really been active like that online, okay? So yeah. So that's that. And yeah, and so yeah, that's just pretty much all I had to really say in response to some of the stuff that he said. Again, yeah, he said, you know, she could have gave Asian Doll a bone, but she didn't. And it is what it is. Because like you said, Zach, it's true. She doesn't have to. Oh, also, this is what I want to say before I get off of here. First of all, I do believe that Meg has changed. But you want to know what? Why the fuck wouldn't she change? Why wouldn't she change after everything. This is what I really want people to understand. I understand that we are on the internet and it seems like things happen in a vacuum and things happen so fast, but I really need to understand, because I feel like I had the same conversation with somebody when it was like maybe a year or two ago in regards to Cardi. Y'all have to give people the fucking grace, and I'm not talking about Zach, I'm talking about people in general. Y'all have to give people the grace and the space to grow. Y'all do not. I really want y'all to put this into focus. In the past 2 years, this girl has gone from rapping on a fucking rooftop in a cipher with a whole bunch of fucking nobodies, no shade to everybody who was in the cipher, to being thrusted to the fucking front of the fucking spotlight with Beyonce next to her. Hold on, her mama dies. Hold on, she ain't got no daddy. And hold on, some man shot her. Hold on, then after she got shot, she got blamed. Hold on, then her best friend on top of that didn't even back her up and threw her underneath the bus. All of that happened within the past 2 years. Some people can't even deal with a quarter of that shit in 1 year alone. Somebody losing their parent alone would crushes people for years, for decades, okay? And one of the times that Meg really, I felt for her, because it was facts. She came on her live one time and she said, she was like, y'all do not understand how it is for me to be as young as I am, and I don't have a mama. I don't have a daddy. Do y'all not understand that in our reality, Meg is really out here by herself? She really, yeah, she has her friends and stuff like that, and she probably got a little bit of family here and there, but don't nobody give a fuck about you the way your mama do. Don't nobody give a fuck about you the way that your daddy do. Nobody cares about you the way your parents do. Nobody has your back, if they're good parents, like I'm pretty sure her would have your back the way they do. And for her to not have that support system, okay, and her be as young as she is, and to have to deal with the fame and the money and the bullshit on top of that, and you want to know what? A lot of times I really do believe when people say money, first of all, money do make you, it doesn't really change you, it makes you more of who you already are. But I also believe that it does change the people around her. I don't understand why nobody is taking into consideration the fact that maybe, you know what, maybe Meg is changing, but maybe it's also the motherfucking people around her that are changing, what they want from her, what they are now expecting from her. All of that can be exactly why she's acting the way that she's acting. And after that whole situation that happened with Tori and with Kelsey, I wouldn't fuck with nobody. I wouldn't fuck with nobody. Everybody that I thought I was about to be cool with, oh, you thought I was cool with you? Oh, you thought I was cool with you? If I even have an inkling, if I had an inkling before that whole thing with Tori and Kelsey happened, that you was a little shady, or I felt something off about you, once that situation happened, oh, I'm cutting everybody off. I don't want nobody in my circle other than maybe 2 or 3 people. So you want to know what? Yeah, I was cool with you a couple months ago, but guess what? Shit changes. I'm moving on. And that doesn't necessarily mean that she is now a bad person and, oh, there's something wrong with her. It could just be that she's becoming an adult. It could mean that she's just moving in a way that's best for her. And sometimes you can't bring everybody with you. You can't always bring everybody with you in your growth and in your journey. Y'all need to watch some of y'all and understand that you are going to have to cut people off. You're going to have to be willing to make people mad for you to be able to grow and become the person that you need to be. And I really feel like right now, that's where Meg is. Meg is low-key, she's lost. There's a lot going on. And I just really wish that people would give her the grace and the fucking space that, even, let's say, even if, let's say, for whatever reason, she is being a little bit shady to her friends and stuff like that, that girl is still young, and people need to give her the space and the grace to fucking grow, to adjust. That's why even now, I will say, coming up more recently, people have stopped using the excuse so much for Cardi, but I feel like it's very similar to when Cardi came out. Y'all expected Cardi, the girl who, I mean, at this point, it was, way years ago, but I'm talking about like 2000 and let's say 18 or whatever. Y'all was expecting a girl who was just on the pole, just in the Bronx, fighting bitches left and right, to be able to come and sit down and peacefully talk to Nicki. No, bitch, I just finished beating bitches up on a corner for saying something crazy about me. So you think I'ma still have that, some different type of decorum now that you give me a couple fucking dollars? Absolutely not. It takes time. And again, I understand that by looking things online, it all seems like it's in a vacuum, but it's really not. Y'all have to give people the space and the grace to grow. And also remember that y'all don't know everything. Just because somebody poses clearly, right? So let's be real. Meg was up here on live and stuff like that with Tori and hugging up and all up on him, but clearly that nigga ain't shit. So what we gonna do? Hold her to the fact that at one point in time she was cool with him and now she's not? You can't do that to people. We cannot do that to people. Let people have the space to grow and to learn. And this is not me trying to say that Meg has never done nothing wrong, because I personally don't know her, but I think it's I think it's a little insensitive for people to just be, the girl has enough going on. That's all I'm saying. She got enough going on. And I could not imagine. I don't even know how the girl is still standing. It's beyond me. It's beyond me. This year alone has been a lot. And you know, yes, Meg's name has been in a lot of of the news and stuff like that, but y'all gotta remember the most news that she's been in has been behind this fucking shooting shit. But also let's remember the top of all of last year and the top of 2020, Megan ran that shit. It wasn't until after the Savage moment, which was this past summer, that she's been in a little bit of a decline with the last 2 singles that she had. But let's remember that Meg was running this shit all last year and the top of this year all the way into the end of the summer. Let's keep that in mind. But again, she's a young girl. She has a lot of money. It's a lot of shit that's going on at that one time. And the main thing I think that I empathize with her is that she really doesn't have nobody in her corner for real. She really doesn't. She really, really, really doesn't. And that saddens me. It saddens me. Because I could only imagine how that feels for you to feel like you don't even really know who you can trust. That's it. I'm done now. I'm out of here.